Hello everyone, welcome to Urbanscape Bangalore, and in this episode we will be looking at growing Gladiolus from Corms. So I had taken this video over a duration of 4 to 5 months till they all started blooming. So you can also see the transition from a corm to the striking flowers the glads are so famous for. So if you are sowing these corms, make sure you sow this when the temperature outside becomes warm. In tropical countries, you can sow this during December if you want, and you will get these blooming during the summer months. However, this is a winter dormant plant and blooms extensively during summer. So to start off, we will need to prepare the soil. So here I am using a container that already has some potting mix filled in it. However, I would need to amend this with a well-draining mixture of sand and compost. Loosen up the soil to aerate the bedding soil so that the water moves out of the soil quickly and thereby preventing the corms from rotting. This is also essential if you're growing this in the ground as well. Always amend your soil, break it up a little to reinvigorate the soil chemistry. This is how the corms look like. They almost resemble an onion. There is a difference between bulbs and corms though. Corms are underground stems that have solid tissues, and bulbs are modified leaves in the form of fleshy scales. So this is the growing point of the corm, and these are the basal roots. So make sure that the growing part is on the top and the flat portion with some roots is placed on the ground. These corms have a tendency of growing new corms right on top of the old ones. The lines you see here are the nodes, and this is the internode. While sowing, make sure you do not fill the container with the potting mix. Fill maybe just half of the container. So as a thumb rule, sow your corms at least 4 inches deep. The deeper you sow, the sturdier the plant would be, thereby preventing the plant from getting flopped over by wind and other extremities. For spacing between the corms, sow them 6 to 7 inches apart in the soil. Like I said earlier, use a very well-draining mix of 40% sand, 30% soil and 30% compost. I am using a vermicompost bag that I purchased from Lalbagh, and it is from the government of Karnataka. The Gladiolus loves rich organic matter, so adding compost will definitely help. After the corms are sown, cover them under the soil and water every day after sowing. You can additionally use fish fertilizer or seaweed fertilizer just after sowing to give it that initial boost of nutrients to get the corms produce these sword-like leaves. The word gladiolus comes from the look of the leaves of this plant that resemble a gladiator's sword. Immediately after sowing, in just 3 to 4 weeks' time, you would see these leaves sprouting from the ground during the spring months, and over time they would grow bigger and bigger during the summer. And they finally produce these groovy buds at the terminal point by May, and from them arises these flowers that initially look all shy and enclosed, and then it is just a matter of time till they unfurl into this beautiful floral art that starts flowering from the bottom and then finally unfurls at the pinnacle. The flowers are non-fragrant. The flowers come in various colors, and the best color combination is definitely white and red, and I'm so fortunate to have found these corms. If you want this plant to flower in succession, then you may have to sow the corms a week after the other during spring. For people who live in colder countries, you may have to dig out the corms and store them in a warm, dark place during winters. Once the plant has finished blooming, you can remove the flower stalk and leave the leaves so that it nourishes the corm for a much better show the next year. One more thing to remember is that the bigger the corm, the bigger will be the flowers. These, if pollinated, could give you seeds, but growing a plant from seeds will take a longer time. So this plant likes full sunlight. It needs regular watering during summer, and also to fertilize, add a phosphorus and potassium rich fertilizer every month during summer. Just adding vermicompost twice a month will also do wonders. Pests that affect this plant would be thrips, etc. So as a preventive measure, apply neem oil pesticide thrice a week when the flowers sprout, and also spray the soil. I have fortunately not had this problem so far. Staking of this plant would be necessary because the taller this grows, the more it would be susceptible to wind, and it could eventually make the plant flop over. So with this, we have come to the end of yet another episode of Urbanscape Bangalore. I have waited the longest to cover this plant over time, making sure I cover all the milestones that the Gladiolus gladly achieved this summer. So I hope I've covered most of the things that is necessary to grow big, beautiful Gladiolus flowers in your garden. If you have any further queries on this plant, then do let me know by commenting below. Also, you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook for further updates. The links are given below. So if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. And until we meet again, goodbye.